There we go.
There it is.
Brad, how are you? Hey, we'll clap again. Hey. We appreciate you joining
Hold the
us.
applause.
Yeah, we will never hold the applause for you, sir. Thank you for joining us, Lindsay, Dan, and Cabbie. We're happy to have you here. We just had Pascal Siakam on where he was talking about how back in high school he would sing and woo the honeys. I'm curious if in your high school days you also rode a mechanical bull and that led to you then, having that groin injury last year that people have been bringing up for a year.
Yeah, I was listening to a little bit of with Siakam there, and I was wondering, what am I getting myself into coming on this podcast right now?
Yeah, that's the right thought.
It's the right question
Yeah,
you're asking yourself there, Brad. You're veteran. You're just seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
No, there was no wooing of any honeys back in high school for me. Zero game. But no, I had a long-term girlfriend. That was about it. That was fun. But hurt my groin last year on a mechanical bull. I will never ever ride a mechanical bull ever again. And it's funny, I can actually still feel that spot a little bit when I do certain movements, but it doesn't affect the way that I perform on the ice, which is good.
Which is all that matters. And I do want to bring up, you are going to the Olympics. It's been a hot minute since you've been there, just over a decade. So when you book that ticket, that you're qualifying, because obviously it's a lot of work to get there, a lot has happened in life, a lot of life has changed. How did you celebrate?
How did we celebrate? Halifax is a great town, as many of you probably know. So
Facts.
it was quite the Olympic trials that week. It's just a great city for the fans, for the venue, proximity to everything downtown, bars, restaurants, all that stuff. So we had lots of family support there. We went to the Patch. If any of you are familiar with curling and the Briar and the Scotties and the trials, they call it the Patch. It's like the big, huge bar with thousands of people in it after the game. So we went and took some pictures with some fans and had a few drinks, maybe stayed up a little later than we should have. But we had some fun. We like to have fun. That's kind of in the curlers' DNA all across the country, I would say, is getting together after games and having a celebratory drink and buying the winning team buys the losing team a drink and whatnot. We don't really do that at our level. However, when a big week like that is over, and especially if you win, we're going to celebrate.
We know what curling means across this country and how many great teams there are across the country. Like, how much of a sweat is the Canadian trials to get to the Olympics?
It's a tough event. It kind of, at least in my experience, we've got a lot of experience on our team. Mark's been to 6 Olympic trials. He's going to his 4th Olympic Games, which is crazy. Ben, his 3rd Olympics, and myself and Brett, now 2 Olympics. I even said to the guys after we won the game, I'm like, I can't believe that I've played in 4 of these things, made the final 3 times, and now I've been lucky enough to win it twice. It's a grind. It kind of messes with your brain a little bit, especially when you start this season and the Olympic trials is a couple months away. It's the big prize that everybody wants to go and get and win, and it's tough because it's all or nothing. Like I said, we've won that game, we've lost that game. The last Olympic trials, we lost the final to Brad Gushu, and that was devastating, man. It really was. So, it's great to have that week over with and done, and we played really well. We got off to a slow start. We lost our first game, but we were able to rally off. I think it was 8 in a row, which was pretty impressive. We played awesome. Mark Kennedy stood on his head all week. I kind of joked and said that he blacked out in that final and woke up at the end and just made every shot. It's pretty special, and to be able to wear the maple leaf again, just once again, it's something that we're not taking lightly. I think we're appreciating it. I know for myself, 12 years later, I'm really appreciating this one a lot more. Really looking forward to soaking all this in and sharing this experience with our family and our kids.
Yeah. Now the most important question, planning for the Olympics and it being in Italy this time, how much pasta do you plan to eat through this event here, Brad?
Well, we'll see. I've heard that the food over in Cortina is amazing, and actually a few people. So if you're not familiar with Sault Ste. Marie is kind of like Little Italy. We have lot of people. Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we have a lot of people that immigrated over from Italy, just over the generations. And actually, my father-in-law was born in northern Italy, in the province of Treviso. So,
Nice.
uh,
Wow.
my father-in-law came over here when he was 3 years old. So the Italian traditions run deep in Sault Ste. Marie, and certainly in our family as well. He's really excited. My mother and father-in-law are excited to be able to go back to Italy and see. There's tons of family waiting for them over there, just sort of south of where we're going to be playing. So yeah, they're going to soak in a lot of the Italian traditions, and I'm sure a big part of that's going to be food. Myself, I'll probably lay off the pasta a little bit for sure. I don't want to be putting on 10 pounds while we're at the Olympics. I don't think that'll be great for performance. But it'll be hard. I actually heard the fish over there is
Oh,
even
yeah.
better than the pasta in northern Italy. So just looking forward to trying everything.
Amazing stuff. So I'm going to have to connect with you on some good Italian restaurants for the next time I'm in the Sioux, because as an Italian myself, it sounds pretty amazing. I saw you do a video with your teammates on the Canada website, and it's who's most likely video. And honestly, it just seems like you guys are so connected as a group. How important is that going into a big event like the Olympics?
Yeah, I've been lucky in my career to be on teams that have a great team dynamic. What can I say? And when I joined this group of guys, I think the easiest thing for us, I mean, Mark and Ben have a long history, played together since their early 20s. So that's there, obviously, they're quite close. But we all get along. We all have very similar interests. We're just a bunch of jocks, really. We we like to joke around about the same things and have fun. The team dynamic aspect for me is probably the most important thing on a sports team, on a curling team. Curling's a little bit unique, as you guys probably know. It's just four guys or four gals. Everyone is responsible for making the curling shot. I think it's the ultimate team sport. Nobody sits on the bench at any point in time. We're all out there competing together, and it's really important that you like one another and get along off the ice as well. And that's always been one of the most important things for me. We can all figure out, communication, how we want to throw the rock, and work on our skills and develop and get good. But the team dynamic, when that's natural, like it is for our team, it's something really special.
Love it.
Brad, you're known as I don't know if I would call it a fitness freak, but you're known as someone who takes their fitness very seriously. And the conversation about pasta has made me think of this. Historically, curling is associated with like beer and cigarettes, maybe some whiskey. When are we going to see the squad out? And things are different now in 2026. When are we going to see the squad out there in like basketball jersey type uniforms so we can get, we can see the gun show when you guys are sliding the granite down the sheet of ice?
Well, did you watch the last Grand Slam at all in Steinbach, the U.S. guys?
I did not.
John Schuster's team?
Yeah.
They did exactly what you just said. They cut the sleeves off their jerseys, and of course, they all have tattoos. So they're the couple of them had like sleeves going. So that's starting to happen. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We're not cutting the sleeves off of ours anytime soon. But you're right. Curling has really developed and evolved over the years. It's, we are athletes. We are athletes now. Not that we weren't ever, but I think we're a lot more viewed as athletes. The fitness side of things, you look at the curlers out there, men and women, they're in really great shape. And, even remember when we were in Sochi in 2014, sort of standing and being around and hanging out with the hockey guys, the NHL guys, and fitting right in, which was pretty neat. We were about the same size as those guys, if I remember correctly. But it's changed, but certainly still every once in a while, we'll have a couple cold beers, a couple whiskeys. Absolutely. We're not smoking cigarettes or anything like that. But, a lot of the teams out there aren't afraid to get together, enjoy one another's company from time to time, and have a cold one, for sure.
Brad, I have two more for you. You took a sabbatical from the game in around March 22 and then returned full time in 2024. Was that I missed the competition thing, or was it like Tom Brady in like your family was driving you crazy and you needed to get back to work?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Okay, all right.
But
I appreciate the honesty.
no, no, yeah, love being at home with the family as much as possible. But yeah, you know what? Just to that point in my career, I felt like I had given it everything I had, and we had just finished a quadrennial. The cycle was over with. I knew that if I wanted to take a little break from the game and just sort of reassess my love for the sport, that was the season to do it in. That's a kind of a season. The first season after the Olympics is one where you can try something new, and points and world ranking and all that stuff don't quite matter as much. So that was the time to do it. In my heart and in my gut, I felt like I needed to do that. And I think it was actually the best thing for me because I came back, refreshed and hungry and ready to go. And I watched a lot of curling that season too. And one of the things I realized was if I don't get back involved in the sport like quickly here, these guys are going to surpass me and I'll never be able to sort of get back to the top or work our way to the top. So I needed to get back quickly. And what can I say? Got on a couple great teams, and this team's had a lot of success in the last 12 months, and it was worth it.
And you're a big part of that success. Last question for you from me. Lindsay did an interview recently with gold medalist Andre DeGrasse. And when asked about gamesmanship, DeGrasse said that competitors will try to get in each other's minds by just having these stare downs and then try to make their competitors feel uncomfortable. What is the version of that in curling that we as fans do not see on the broadcast?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. We don't have stuff like that. We're not staring each other down. Although, funny story, back in 2014 in Russia, I remember we were going out to play the Russian team in Russia, and we were in the tunnel before the game. And Ryan Fry looked at me and said, I just had a stare down with one of the guys in that other team for like a minute, which it probably wasn't a minute. It was probably like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And I immediately said, well, who looked away first? And he said, I did. And I'm like, what are you doing?
You're losing our edge. We can't
right?
lose our edge before the match, bro.
But we went out and we won that game, and that was a big game for us to win because we ran the table after that. And actually, right here sitting beside me, funny enough, I have the Olympic gold medal, guys.
Oh,
there it is. Let's go.
Yeah, we applaud that.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't often bring this out, but we're actually having an event here at the office tonight before we go to the Olympics, and people wanted me to bring it, so I have it. Would love to have another one though, that's for sure. But I think in curling, to answer your question, I think that the intimidation type of thing or gamesmanship or whatever you would call it, the more confident a team is all around, I'd say just the more intimidating that can be. And I think we've been on both sides of that. I certainly remember for years playing against Team Gushu and just kind of entering the field of play. And it's like you already know you're kind of beat, and that sucks. But on the flip side, when you have that in your favor, you can kind of sense and feel that with the other team, like whatever's going on here, and you can feel that vibe and that tension. We have something right now, one leg up on this team for whatever reason. But we're all pretty friendly with one another out there, that's for sure.
Well, I hear that, and then I think of back in the day, Randy Ferbey. For me, just being in the same building of that man, to me, was terrifying and intimidating. But that was not the case just being around the Ferbster, which I'm pretty sure nobody calls him that, ever.
Ferbey was like before my time.
I know. But like, I
so
think
I've only known... Yeah, I've only known Randy really like since he retired from the game. And in that setting, he's just a lot of fun, really.
Yeah. Different Randy. I can't imagine. I remember watching him over the years, and like that man intimidates me, and I'm watching from home, but you have such an intimidating stare down that I feel like even if you don't think there's mind games, or when just watching you when you're going to release that rock, I'm also terrified of you. And you're like the nicest, most fun guy ever. But I do have a serious question about the Olympics. What does training look like leading up to the actual games? Because I believe you guys are going to Europe. What kind of training that entails going to the actual games now?
Right. So, you know what, training for us, really for this team, The way that we trained started 4 years ago. Now I wasn't part of that at the time. It was Brendan Botcher, and I came on and took over 2 years in. But really, for this group of four, that's when it would have started. And so one of the things that I'm finding now, and I was asked the same question sort of in the summer with it being an Olympic trials season coming up, like, are you doing anything different? Are you eating any cleaner or training any harder? And you know what? The answer really is no. We train hard enough, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm 40 years old now, so just trying to stay in good shape, keep the body. Everyone just needs to keep their bodies healthy. So not overdoing it, that's for sure. But we have some really great training systems in place that allow us to practice and train individually. We don't always have to be together, but we throw the rock almost identical, which is a very powerful thing. I'm headed out to, of course, we'll do a couple training camps. I'm headed out to Edmonton tomorrow for a couple of days to be with the guys before we go. So we'll get some really great team training in over the next couple days. And then we head over early. We're heading to Brunico, Italy. We're flying into Munich and then driving down into Italy with Rachel Homan's team. So we're going to be there at a 2-sheet curling club with Mark Shirk making the ice and all of our coaches and support staff. So that's going to be fantastic. Unfortunately, we're not going to have Brett with us because him and Jocelyn are going to be playing mixed doubles at that time. But that's okay. Like I said, we have some really great systems in place, and it's going to be super valuable to have him and her, but because he's on our team, to have them hit the ice before we play and have him sort of relay information and let us know how it's feeling out there, I think is going to be really valuable. So we'll be ready to go and really just looking forward to it. I don't want to wish that it comes too quickly because I know that once it starts, it's going to be over like that. And really just want to take it day by day here.
Now, I am curious. So, aside from like being dominant in curling, we're really excited for what can and hopefully will happen in the Olympics for you. What does one do with a Bachelor of Arts in Geography?
Not a whole lot. Yeah. Truthfully, I knew I wanted to do one thing when I was a kid, and that was play curling. I really didn't know what I wanted to do academically or for a career other than play curling. And luckily that's kind of worked out. So, but I do have my own financial business. I'm with World Financial Group. And I do that when, we're not curling and when I've got more time, but certainly the main focus over the last couple of years has been doing this exactly, getting, to the trials, winning the trials, representing Canada, going back to the Olympics. So all of the things that we've had to do have made it worth it.
We appreciate you so much being on the show. One last one before we let you go is Summer Olympics, when I was there covering them in Paris, Snoop Dogg was there doing commentary. We recently saw him do commentary for an LA Clippers game. If you could have anybody that's viewed as, a celebrity call one of your games, who would it be?
It would probably be Snoop Dogg.
He wouldn't know what's going on.
I think that guy's got to be one of the best human beings alive. He's so hilarious. I've been following a little bit, and we all know that he's going to be in Cortina at some point. Would love to come across him and get a selfie, take a picture, meet the guy. Because he's just an icon and so hilarious. And I don't think there's anyone else, truthfully, I would want to commentate a curling game other than him. I think that would be a blast.
I hope that happens. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Good luck in the Olympics. And as always, please stay away from any mechanical bulls. We appreciate your time.
You betcha. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brad.